Arena, Kansas City, Missouri, the home of a dream for both the Kansas Jayhawks and the Iowa State Cyclones. Today, in this arena, dreams born on the playground and made possible through years of silent, tireless practice will be realized. The very special dreams of a Jeff Hornacek and a Danny Manning will converge at center court in the atmosphere that is unique to college basketball. Jeff Hornacek, the son of a high school coach and a non-scholarship player just 4 years ago, brings his dream to the same court as Danny Manning. The son of a college coach, only a sophomore and already a phenomenal talent, virtually assured of wealth and fame. The dream for all is to play for the title. The prize for just one is to win it. Raycom Sports presents Big 8 Conference Basketball. From Kansas City's Kemper Arena, it's the Big 8 Tournament Championship. Today, the Iowa State Cyclones take on the Kansas Jayhawks. We're inside Kemper Arena. The joint is rocking. Over 17,000 fans to watch Kansas and Iowa State. Here's how they got here. Game 5, Kansas in a beauty over Oklahoma by 2. Nebraska in Game 6 tired. Iowa State pulled away and they won it. Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin Kylie. If you're worried about Iowa State not being able to compete with number 2 Kansas, forget it. It was Iowa State 3 out of 4 times they've beaten Kansas. The last 3 out of 4 times. It was Iowa State that eliminated Kansas last year in the Big 8 tournament, and it was Iowa State that handed the number 2 Jayhawks their last loss. So we're in for one well of a basketball game. Game talent today, Jay Randolph and Gary Thompson. Let's go to them for pregame talk.
Thank you, Kevin, and a cordial welcome, everyone, across Mid-America to the title game of this, the first Big 8 tournament to bring all 8 teams to Kansas City. Gary Thompson is here, of course, to analyze the action of this one. Kansas, Iowa State. It would seem to me the key today in this game is how these two clubs handle the transition game.
Well, Jay, that along with 2 crucial defensive matchups. You got Manning and Grayer, Hornacek and Hunter. But it was a transition game that let Iowa State win it at Ames in that first ball game as they jammed the Jayhawks in the backcourt and cut down their running game. At Lawrence, it was the Jayhawks that got out and run and blitzed the Cyclones, 14-4 advantage on fast break baskets.
And the coaches, of course. Larry Brown coaching Kansas. He's rekindled the flame at Lawrence. And Johnny Orr, the man from Yale, Kansas, who now coaches Iowa State. For which one of these men will we celebrate today?
Here are your starting lineups for today's championship game. First for the Iowa State Cyclones. At forward, 6'4" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 11, Ron Virgil. At forward, 6'5" sophomore from Flint, Michigan, number 44, Jeff Grayer. At center, 6'9" junior from Chicago, Illinois, number 33, Sam Hill. At guard, 6'3" sophomore from Jackson, Michigan, number 3, Gary Thompkins. And at guard, 6'3" senior from LaGrange, Illinois, number 14, Jeff Hornacek. For the Kansas Jayhawks, at forward, 6'11" sophomore from Lawrence, Kansas, number 25, Danny Manning. At forward, 6'5" senior from Omaha, Nebraska, number 44, Ron Kellogg. At center, 7'1" senior from Wichita, Kansas, number 30, Greg Dreiling. At guard, 6' junior from Omaha, Nebraska, number 22, Cedric Hunter. And at guard, 6'6" senior from Kansas City, Kansas, number 35, Calvin Thompson.
The Kansas Jayhawks, seeded #1 in this tournament, ranked #2 in the nation, 30-3. The Iowa State Cyclones, seeded #2, they're 20-9. Back with the tip-off after this from Budweiser. Overby, the supervisor of officials in the Big 8, has assigned Ron Spittler, Woody Mayfield, and Ron Zetcher to this championship game.
And here's one of the key matchups. You see their year statistics right there, but the big thing was Hornacek broke loose for 17 points, key rebound and assist against Nebraska in the semifinals. That put smiles on Cyclone fans' faces. But Cedric Hunter, he put some smiles on those Jayhawk fans' faces that he had 16 assists in their win over Oklahoma, tournament record.
There's the series standings. Kansas 129 victories to 42 for the Cyclones. Kansas in the white uniforms. The Cyclones in the dark uniforms, and the tap controlled by Dreiling. Iowa State, their best finish since the 77-78 season. Seated, as we said, #2 here. Danny Manning inside. Player of the year in the Big 8. Opens the scoring.
And he'll be tough to stop down there. Grayer, with his quickness, is able to get around in front or play him on the side. But that time, Manning gets posted up. Grayer right behind. There's no way that Grayer's going to stop him. 6'5" against 6'11" in that position.
Hornacek from 20. Rebound, Thompson. Out to Hunter.
I think Hornacek
Hunter loses it, turned it over, and back comes Grayer, and off it comes to Thompkins. Back to Grayer for the jumper. And a foul called on Hornacek as he went for the rebound. He cracked into Danny Manning.
And Iowa State has got to get those kind of shots down. That's their game, to spread out, get a steal, get Tompkins. Watch here, a little beautiful flip pass to Grayer. He's got the point-blank shot, just does not get it down. Rebound comes off Manning. Hornacek inside. He's a good rebounding guard. Had 7 rebounds in that semifinal against Nebraska.
Saw there, Hornacek starts his 107th consecutive game. Inside Dreiling. And Dreiling wanted a foul. He didn't get it, but he got the bucket. He's upset.
Boy, he just powered, just strictly strength and power. He was determined to take it in, and he got it. There's the trap. Kansas getting some problems at Lawrence, a lot of problems.
Hornacek, a brilliant pass across the lane to Thompkins for 2. 4-2 early going. Hunter and Hornacek. What a matchup we've got there. Here's the foul on Virgil. That is his first, and team foul #2.
Jay, we talked about Ron Kellogg yesterday. There was a report that he had an injury of a groin, but it's just a toe that he's bruised. And watch Hornacek here. Brilliant pass here. Great assist. Thompkins gets away as Kansas was double teaming, and Hornacek finds the open man.
Manning put it up. It wouldn't go. The rebound taken down by Grayer. Here's Manning with the interception. As Hornacek tried to get it down to Virgil. Manning forces it up. It won't go, but he is fouled.
Beautiful read by Manning down on this end. He's second in the league on steals. A big guy at 6'11". Just waits in the wings for that pass and picks it off.
Larry Brown lecturing to his big man. Here's this play.
Look at the speed of Manning right there. 6'11" gets out to make that, and he was just laying back in the weeds. Now a little change of pace dribble. Grayer cannot get up with him right there at 6'11". Needs to turn him loose, just try to get a hand in the face and bother.
Manning, the newcomer of the year last year, player of the year this year. Manning shooting 75% at the charity stripe.
Boy, what 2 crucial free throws. You look at there, the Big 8 player of the year, but yesterday stood on the line, 6 seconds to go, and drained 2 of them for a 2-point win over Oklahoma.
He leads his team in scoring. 16.9 is average. We've played 2 minutes. Kansas leads 6-2. The title game of the 1986 Big 8 postseason tournament. Thompkins taking it in. Off it comes to Hill. Dreiling blocked it. Here's Kellogg. Ball out of bounds off Kellogg's foot. As Gary has indicated to you, there were rumors about Kellogg's health, but as far as we know, he's fine.
Here's a great pass by Tompkins again, but a great block by Dreiling, as Manning and Dreiling been going back and forth as leaders in block shots. That should tie him now with Manning on the season lead.
Hill put it up. Rebound Kellogg. Manning to Hunter.
Good help that time, but Virgil on Hunter cutting him off on a penetration.
Thompson cuts it through. 8-2, the Jayhawks.
Anytime that Kellogg and Thompson click those heels together, you're in trouble.
Cyclones for the second year in the title game. They lost here to Oklahoma 73-71 last year after upsetting Kansas.
Dreiling doing a lot of hedging on defense as Hornacek comes off the pick of the center. Evidently going to let Hill go free and try and stop those shooters.
Charge on Virgil. Virgil's second personal foul, third team foul, or fourth team foul. 17 minutes to play in the first half. Johnny Orr.
Well, John didn't like the call right there. He waved officials. He said he didn't believe it. Let's watch. Here's Virgil coming in, jumps in, and right over the top. Good call. Defensive man set, waiting. Great position.
And great pictures from our talented crew, headed up by Kent Samuel here, and our executive producer, Don McGuire. Shot by Kellogg won't go. Taken away by Thompkins. Back to the attack he comes. Hornacek in trouble in the lane. Lost it. And here is Thompson along with the little man. Whoa! Cedric Hunter! And the Kansas Jayhawk fans come to their feet.
I looked at this with Jay and I thought Thompson gave up something, but I forget about Hunter, the way he can jump. And now you got the little guys. They go two on nobody on a breakaway, gives it to Hunter. One hand up, jams it down, and the Jayhawk fans go wild.
Well, remarkable pictures from high above from our cameraman Kevin Shank. Kansas leads 10-2. Kansas leading by 8 here in the early going. Into the ball game, number 25 for Iowa State, Elmer Robinson. Robinson replacing Ron Virgil.
Jay, Calvin Thompson with his first field goal. He moved into 8th place in the all-time tournament career, scoring 123 points. Passed up Ricky Frazier of Missouri.
Grayer driving in. And the basket is good and a foul. Boy.
Woo, we're seeing some big-time plays, but you expect it out of the number 1 and 2 seeds in the Big 8 Conference.
Foul is on Kellogg.
What action here. Manning giving away the baseline. Grayer goes in, help trying to come. Looks like he might have got there in time, but Grayer slams it through. An official calls the blocking foul, and Grayer goes to the line for a three-pointer.
Grayer, the sophomore from Flint, Michigan. Player of the year in Michigan his senior year. Rebound Dreiling. 10-4 Kansas. Ron Kellogg. Back out to Hunter.
The switch in assignments for Iowa State in previous games, I remember, it's always been Thompkins on Hunter, but Hornacek is covering Hunter this time, and it might be so they can jam up Kansas fast break, that while he's covering him, he in turn can be in position to cover him on the changeover of possessions.
Kellogg got the alley-oop in there to Manning. Foul called, and we may also have a technical. Let's see. Yes, we do. We have a technical foul also. The foul was on Hornacek, his second. Jeff is upset. And then there's a bench technical called on the play also.
Let's watch the action here. Here's Kellogg. They go over the top to Manning. He comes in, pushes it up, and couldn't see it there. Hornacek might have backed in underneath, and Manning looked like maybe he put a hand to protect himself. So it's a hairline call either way.
Johnny Orr, 58-year-old head man of the Cyclones. Calvin Thompson on the free throw line. Calvin, who played at Wyandotte in Kansas City, Kansas, just across the way here. Was an All-American in high school, shooting 83.9 at the free throw line.
Might have been things, Jay, as we looked at that replay down low, which you can't always see, and we'll get a chance to look at this play again. Here's Hornacek, and he's moving him out right there. From that angle, you can really see it. I said he was backing in under him, and that definitely showed that he moved him out of position.
Kansas leading 12-4. 16 minutes to play in the first half. Cyclones man-to-man.
Cyclones man-for-man against Nebraska last night. Played excellent defense was the key.
Danny Manning drops it in.
Boy, he is so tough. What a great player. And again, I said, if you get behind him, you've got to try as much as possible. It's a heck of a job to keep him from getting the basketball.
Biggest lead in the game for Kansas, 10 points. Greyer cuts it to 8. Greyer from 15. Greyer has 4 points here in the early going. Manning. Foul charged on Greyer.
Well, Johnny Orr not up much in the first 2 games, but he's been up early in this game. Good pass from Thompson into Manning. Manning goes over.
Ooh.
And from this angle, it looks like, again, angles always make the difference. But looking at that view, it looks like he was set in his position.
Johnny Orr with a very pained look on his face. His assistant Jim Hallahan there. Wesley and Steve Antrim also assistants for him. Manning shooting 2.
His first miss, right?
Right. Manning's high this year, 27 against Missouri. It's 41 block shots.
He had 12 free throws in a row. Manning missed 1 and now made another.
15-6 Kansas. Kansas averaging 81.5 a game. The Cyclones 76.6. Greyer taking it in. Oh, move. Oh, Greyer doing some nifty footwork there.
And showing strength because he was falling down as he went into traffic right there. Still had enough strength to get the ball to the basket. 2 Big 8 performers in Greyer and Manning putting on a good show.
Dreiling takes it in. Can't get it down. Greyer rebounding.
And it looks like Iowa State's plan on Dreiling is to make him hit outside, not front him, and let the lobs go over the top.
Thompson turns for 2 there as he banged one home from about 17. And it's a 5-point Kansas lead. Just a moment ago, they were up by 10.
What got Iowa State in trouble early was they've been able to get up and down the court, much like they did in Ames in that first win. But early in the first few minutes, possessions, they were not able to convert.
Kellogg's shot won't go. Rebound was taken by Thompkins, but he went down and was out of bounds.
Whether he collided with his own teammate, let's see what happens. Here's Kellogg with the good jumper. He's up, comes off. Tompkins inside and gets hit by his own man right there by Sam Hill, knocks him completely out of bounds.
Hunter triggers it in. Kellogg from the corner. Won't go. Rebound, Robinson.
Smart little play by Robinson there. Tipped the ball away from the defensive man and then went to go back and get the basketball.
Tompkins' shot doesn't go. Dreiling dominates on the boards.
They've got numbers. Oh, beautiful pass. Oh, a snap pass, Jay. I'm just amazed that Manning, a 6'11" guy like that, can make those kind of plays.
Plays like a guard. What an assist from Manning. 4 points now for Cedric Hunter, 17-10, the Jayhawks.
Oh, and the answer.
I'll tell you, we're going to see some tremendous individual performances from these 2 clubs this afternoon as they're letting it all go. This is the title game.
We talked about matchups, Greyer and Manning, and they're putting on an offensive show.
Traveling called against Kellogg. Chris Piper to come into the game for Kansas, number 24, the sophomore from Lawrence, 6'8", and Dreiling will get a rest. Turnovers are even at 3 apiece. Iowa State's committed 16 fouls, Kansas only 1. Could be a very big factor here in this first half. We still have 13 minutes to play. Kansas leading 17-12. Greyer, beautiful turnaround move by Jeff Greyer.
Well, he's got it going today. Yesterday against Nebraska in that semifinal, only 1 point, a free throw in the first half. Did turn it on in the second half, finished with 13.
The Kansas lead is cut back to 3. This is Piper, the big blonde who just came in. Manning, double pump, couldn't get it.
Greyer did a good move right there. Manning gets everybody up with that quickness, but when Greyer went up, he turned away and didn't go after the ball, and Manning missed the shot. Didn't get the foul.
Robinson took that last shot for the Cyclones, didn't get it. Here's Kellogg again.
Oh.
Yes. Got the big arch on that one.
Silk City right there.
19-14, Kansas leading. 12 minutes to play in the first half. Cyclones, Gary, are giving up 68.6 to their opponents, and the Jayhawks 68.2.
We talked about transition. Well, we've seen some transition baskets, and those directly from it and those on the secondary break.
Hill's shot would not go. Ball touched Thompson, and it'll belong to the Cyclones. First, we're going to get a timeout. Excellent play from these two units in the championship game. 11:52 to go in the first half. 19-14, Kansas. Now this from Budweiser.
Why are they so tough? Why are they ranked second in the nation? Well, they shoot well from the outside. They can work the inside game, and boy, can they run. Look at Manning. Back to Hunter. And a basket. You got to pay attention. Now, remember, these guys are 7-footers almost. Manning, 6'11". Back to the little guy, 6 foot tall. Hunter, he goes way up, and it's another 2 for Kansas, but Iowa State's coming back. Jay and Gary?
All right, and Gary, on that replay that Kevin just gave us, looked like Manning might have taken an extra step in there.
Well, a choppy baby step, but a great play anyhow. I mean, his ability to handle the ball, he delivered the ball at the right time.
Kellogg comes out of the lineup, Dreiling back in for Kansas. And also in the game now, Archie Marshall for Kansas. Piper has gone out. Here's Hornacek from 25. Can't get it down. And Grayer comes out of there with an alert rebound.
Marshall did an excellent job yesterday off the bench. Had some crucial plays and assists. He was 6 out of 10, 12 points, 3 rebounds, assists, and a steal. So coming back into the flow, too, offensively, because he hasn't been giving him that much off the bench.
Grayer took the shot, a foul underneath on Elmer Robinson. Robinson, the fine freshman from LaGrange, Illinois, his first. That is team foul number 7. So the 1-and-1 is going to go into effect with 11:27 left to play in this first half for the Jayhawks. Kansas has committed but 1 foul.
Good look at the Larry Brown right there. Great job that he's done at Kansas. One of his assistants on to the left was Mark Freidinger, and then of course Manning's Papa right there, Ed.
Calvin Thompson, 6'6" senior. They call him Pony. Very steady performer, averaging 13.3 a game.
You're right. He is just so steady. He goes down. He's got almost third in every category. Block shots, assists, rebounds. He's always there, and of course the great outside shooter.
21-14. Jayhawks up by 7. Hornacek trying to get it in, and it was Dreiling taking it away. And here is Hunter, missed the layup, and back out comes Thompkins.
Good defense on the other end by Dreiling, took away the passing lane, and there's the transition game.
Robinson missed, and he gets called for the charge. That's his second.
We had Kansas missing on one end with Hunter going up the layup a little too strong. Here's Johnny Orr. You can read his lips saying, pull up and take the jumper, and let's see what happens. Good pass by Thompkins. Goes in, and his momentum, instead of stopping and going straight up for the jump shot and avoid the foul, just as Johnny Orr, you can read his lips telling him, stop, go straight up, not into the man.
Gary, we talked yesterday about the fine bench the Cyclones have. They may need it today. They're getting in foul trouble early. Manning, 23-14. 9-point advantage for Kansas as we near the midway point of the first half. The championship game of the Big 8 postseason tournament. Jam-packed Kemper Arena, Kansas City. Thompkins shovels to Hill. Foul from behind by Manning. Manning's first, only the second team foul against the Jayhawks.
Tompkins doing a nice job with the flip pass again. Manning going for the block. Had 5 blocks yesterday, Jay. Was a tournament record.
On the line, Sam Hill. In his senior year in Chicago, the MVP of the Public League.
I talked about Manning's 5 blocks as a tournament record. It tied a tournament record, which was Al Beal from Oklahoma.
75% free throw shooter is Sam Hill. Had 14 rebounds in the victory over Colorado, 78-60. Robinson comes out of the lineup, and in for the Cyclones you see Tom Schafer.
those two guys, Schafer and Robinson, that give Iowa State some added beef into that lineup when Virgil, the 6'4" thin guy, goes out. Schafer, transfer from Illinois, played 15 games for the Illini before sitting out, regaining his eligibility with Iowa State this season at the semester.
Sam Hill got the roller. It is 23-15 Kansas. Dreiling off to Archie Marshall. His pass intercepted by Grayer. They've got 2-on-2. Grayer goes all the way, missed the layup. Rebound Thompson, back out to Hunter. Now Kansas has got 4-on-2. And a beautiful play. Manning with 11 points now, and it's 25-15, and Kansas has matched its biggest lead, 10, as we're inside the 10-minute mark.
Transition game paying off for Kansas. You might call that a layup. Some people describe it. That was a tough kind of a layup because Manning up high and from about 5 feet out off the glass.
Hornacek shot won't go. Thompkins follows. Gary Thompkins in the right place at the right time. We've got Piper along with Kellogg and Turgeon getting set to come in for the Jayhawks when they have the opportunity. Archie Marshall up the middle. He traveled. The basket is no good. And now Piper 24, Kellogg 44, and Turgeon 11 in for Kansas. And David Moss, number 45, will come into the lineup for the Cyclones. Moss, a 6'9" senior from Franklin Park, Illinois. 9:20 to go. First half, 25-17 Jayhawks over the Cyclones.
Moss has given Iowa State some great relief work. He did it yesterday in that win over Nebraska. He had 7 big rebounds.
Hornacek in tight. Nice pass to Moss. Couldn't get the layup to go down. Turgeon, the little pepper pot from Topeka, gets it down. And another walk called against Archie Marshall.
You know, Marshall doesn't believe it. He's saying, what did I do?
Larry Brown looking out at the scene.
Let's watch Archie as he come down here. Turgeon to pass up to Marshall. Comes down, strides, takes off. 1, 2.
Did he walk, Gary?
Close call. I thought he strided right there to the jump stride and then takes one.
Manning is out of the lineup. We've got Kellogg and Piper and Thompson and Marshall and Turgeon on the court now for the Jayhawks. Hornacek double team, back out to Robinson and around to Schafer. In under Hornacek, he's fouled. Nice job by Robinson finding Hornacek just to the left of the hoop. Foul is on Mark Turgeon, his first. Team foul number 3.
Well, here's Orr making the cut through. A little shove there to get position. Is a little stronger than Turgeon inside. And Robinson, who Johnny Orr likes as a freshman, a good passer, gets to Hornacek, gets into the basket up, and Turgeon cannot stay with him. Hornacek, a good free throw shooter, will go to the line.
And to the right of your screen, the big guy Dreiling returns. Piper goes out. Hornacek, the senior, a walk-on. And an 80% free throw shooter.
He has struggled, admittedly, here in the last 6-7 games at the free throw stripe. He was up to 85%.
Hornacek averaging better than 14 a game. 25-18 Kansas, 8:25 to go. First half title game here at Kemper, the Big 8 postseason tournament. Kansas won the regular season tournament as they finished 13-1. Kellogg's shot won't go. Tapped up by Thompson. It doesn't go. Schafer got it. Gives it to Hornacek. Down to Thompkins. There's Robinson. How did he get it in there?
He lost the handle, blew the easy layup, and then made a sensational backhand, left-hand layup. You know, we got the two big guns right now. Manning out, Grayer out. I think Orr going with Grayer to rest him when Manning went out, and that's probably be the game plan. Those two are going up against each other.
Dreiling puts it way back out front. Turgeon into Dreiling. He's fouled. Moss charged with the foul.
They're giving Dreiling the position down there. They do not want him to get real deep. They'll stay behind him and not front him. If he gets real low, they'll go to the front. But out in that area, they'll stay behind and make him show that he can hit that shot.
Hunter comes back on for the Jayhawks. Manning is going to come back in.
Look who checks right in at the same time
And
with him.
Grayer is coming in for the Cyclones. Archie Marshall going out with Turgeon. And Schafer goes out for the Cyclones as Grayer returns.
Boy, those two kids. Jeff Grayer right there for Iowa State, all Big Eighter. Danny Manning. They can both do the same things. They can hit it outside. They can go inside, and they're so tough around there. Dreiling exceptional, and that other 6 inches just makes them so tough on the boards and around the basket.
They're just sophomores. Dreiling. Dreiling, 70% free throw shooter. Radio, TV, film major, 7'1" senior out of Wichita.
Kansas was 32 out of 39 from the stripe in tournament play coming into this one. And there's another pair.
Timeout with 7.5 to play. First half. Kansas 27. Iowa State 20. More Big 8 tournament action in a moment.
Consent of Raycom Sports is prohibited.
Johnny R. He defeated this Kansas team in the Big 8 tournament semifinal last year, 75-69, and defeated them at Ames on January 27th, 77-74. The Cyclones 20-9. They have won 4 of their last 6 games from the Jayhawks. Kansas, the regular season champions, their first conference regular season title since '78. The Jayhawks have reeled off 10 wins in a row since that loss at Ames. They wanted to walk on Grayer right there. He got it back, put it up, didn't go. Tapped up and in. Fine play by Elmer Robinson. Oh, Larry Brown is upset. He wanted to walk.
I think that should have been a walk, Jay. The ball was up. He went up for the jump shot, left the ground, and pushed the ball down the floor.
Dreiling taking it in. Won't go down. Rebound Thompkins. Cyclones can get back within 3. Underneath, Moss. Moss got a nice feed from Robinson. And the Cyclones have 24 on the board. Kansas has 27. And Larry Brown is some kind of hot across the way. 6.5 to play in this first half.
Jay, it was a beautiful pass by Robinson, and he opened up the game yesterday on the same kind of a pass to the same guy, Moss, inside against Nebraska.
27-24 Kansas. More action after this from Bud. Sign there at JR. That's not me. I don't have any rooms in Dallas. I can tell you that. I don't have any tickets either.
I'm one up on you for what?
Well, that's right. You are. 27-24. Kansas, ranked number 2 in the nation. And there's the rebounding today. Kansas won the BMA tournament here over the Christmas holidays with wins over Louisiana Tech and Wichita. The Jayhawks have won 25 and lost 9 since Kemper Arena was built. They're 16-7 in Big 8 tournament play.
BMA tournament, Danny Manning was the most valuable player, and I tell you, he's off to a great start with and another 2 points in this one.
Manning now with a total of 13. Shot wouldn't go down for Robinson. Back comes Hunter. Manning off to Kellogg. That high arching shot goes through, and Kansas quickly out to a 31-24 advantage with 5:55 to go in the first half.
Larry Brown, a timeout with the score. The Cyclones running it off, cutting for 3, and now they come out and get 2 quick ones.
A little ragged along the line. The ball went out of bounds off Manning. It'll still belong to the Cyclones. On March 1st, the Jayhawks defeated Iowa State at Lawrence 90-7. We mentioned the victory for the Cyclones 77-74 up at Ames.
Now, Hornacek 0 for 3 has not had a basket. And right there, normally he would take that shot, but he think he backed off, not been able to hit.
Robinson, it won't go, was tapped up under there by Grayer. go, and here's Moss back out to Hornacek.
Good job by Iowa State that time. The shorter team inside, keeping the ball alive on the offensive board.
Hornacek into Grayer. He's fouled. Schafer's going to come back in for the Cyclones. Schafer, the 6'7" junior, number 55, to replace Elmer Robinson. Danny Manning's second personal foul. That is just the 4th team foul charged against the Jayhawks.
One thing Hornacek cannot do, Jay, I feel, is he cannot get hesitant about it. He's got to put it up. He's a shooter. The bench has come off and has given him life and scored and kept Iowa State in the ball game. But Hornacek, eventually, I think, is going to have to score.
The NCAA Basketball Committee meeting here in Kansas City today. The bids will be going out later this afternoon. Big 8 hopes that 4, maybe 5 teams will receive bids.
And that's an area to decide this game, too, with free throw shooting. Kansas, an excellent free throw shooting club. Iowa State struggling all year.
Kellogg missing from outside. Schafer taking it in against Manning. Oh, what a move!
Put up a hope shot and found it.
31-26. Kansas leads by 5, 4:40 to go in the first half.
It's good when those go down, Jay, but you don't win and you don't live on those type of shots.
You're right there. Hunter, little popper from 10. Cedric Hunter, 33-26 Kansas.
I like that kid. Everybody talks about all the other big names at Kansas, but I think he may be the one most instrumental guy in this club in the long run, the guy you could least afford to lose early in the ball game because of all the things that he does. One of them is the defense that he's playing, and it's on Hornacek, who's failed to score in the first half of the field.
Schafer's shot doesn't go. Dreiling to Hunter. Hunter to Kellogg. Hunter set a KU assist record. Dreiling back out to Kellogg for the jumper. Tapped out.
Credit that to Manning. Oh, he can't get to it, but keeps it alive. And
Kellogg tries again. Schafer rebounding.
Schafer doing a good job on the defensive glass for Iowa State. He gives them some bulk. He's a good jumper.
Archie Marshall will come in for Kansas. Ronnie Virgil in for the Cyclones when they have an opportunity. The shot put up by Thompkins didn't go. Kellogg to Hunter. We have 3:20 to go in this first half. Kansas leading 33-26.
Iowa State has had some, even off their running game, they have not been able to convert on some shots down in there, down deep.
Dreiling over Moss. Saved again by Manning. And
I hope he's not hurt.
I hope not either. That was Calvin Thompson going over the official section over there and into a second bunch of tables and chairs.
That's great.
He's okay.
Boy, the hustle and that these clubs are giving, both of them.
We saw the Kansas trainer, Dave Lucy, get down there very fast to make sure his man was all right. Virgil is in the lineup now for the Cyclones, and he'll work on the back line with Thompkins. Sam Hill is back in, and he's there on the front line with Schafer and Grayer. Marshall in the lineup for Kansas.
Excuse me, Jazz, and say 3 minutes to go in this first half. It's going to be crucial right here, I think, in this ball game. Iowa State trailing by 7 needs to stay no worse than that in this first half. Can't let Kansas State push it to better than 10.
Tompkins drives. Nice move.
Great
standing.
Defense coming over to help. Tompkins jumps through the double team right there and able to get it up and in.
The lead is 5 for the Jayhawks.
Tough shots.
Thompson and Manning and Dreiling and Marshall and Hunter on the court for Kansas. Foul in under on Marshall.
The defensive end down here right now, there's Grayer 2 fouls. They had to take him off Manning, and Schafer's been a
technical.
Doing a good job.
Technical foul.
Whew. That's on Dreiling.
Yeah, Dreiling said something. The gentle giant who sometimes loses a little control out there. And you see Thompson I went over to talk to him. Maybe we can see this in the upper left corner of the screen.
Larry Brown is saying what? What's he saying? What's the technical for?
Well, maybe we think we have it. It's Dreiling's wife, who you saw in the picture there just a moment ago.
Of course, being on the player to be a one-shotter. Here's Dreiling. Hunter. Manning in here. And now we had a move away, and the foul actually was on Marshall.
Yep.
And Dreiling just must have been upset with. But let me say something about Dreiling. I think that is the area that he just really controlled himself with his emotions. He's been a little feisty, I've noticed, in this tournament. Maybe it's just big-time play of the tournament and everything. But I think he's really controlled that in the last couple of years, and it's really made a difference in his improved play.
Virgil shot the single free throw. It was good, and here is Hunter all the way. The basket's good. He's fouled by Greer.
It looked like Greer turned him loose right there. Hunter went right by. Kansas doing the best job so far of getting numbers on the transition. Here we'll see it out, kicking out, not getting Hunter jammed, which they did so well at Ames, and that win comes by. Greer steps aside, evidently gets him with a little body. Hunter raises his hand, wants the two and a three-pointer.
Greer sitting it out, his third foul. Marshall goes out for Kansas.
Boy, and that's a crucial call right there. You take your big man and have to set him down.
Hunter on the line missing. Piper, who just came in, gets it, turns, doesn't go. Kellogg comes away with it, and Kansas will set it up with 1:50 to go in this first half. They lead at 35-29.
You know, and a break for Kansas right there, because on the bad missed shot, it came out so hard and surprised Schafer. They couldn't control it, and it bounced off his hands, and the Jayhawks got it back.
Piper and Hunter and Dreiling and Kellogg and Thompson playing now for the Jayhawks. Ball batted away there momentarily by Virgil, controlled by Thompson.
Good save by Virgil. Kellogg, good penetration, and going to the open man.
Dreiling wheels inside. He gets it, and he's fouled. Dreiling puts Kansas up 37-29.
Well, they're challenging him from the outside. Here they get it. He's down a little deeper, swings the hook. Sammy Hill just reaches right over. Instead of keeping your hands and arms straight up, the verticality rooms try to bother him. He's not going to stop the shot. Goes right over the top. Dreiling with a nice sweet hook, soft touch, gets it for two.
And the foul on Sam Hill, and Dreiling with an opportunity for the three-point play.
Sam Hill probably makes more of those kind of fouls, those unnecessary fouls, than any player that I've seen for a long time, Jay. And of course, he's fouled out more than any other Big 8 player this year.
Credit that last rebound to Sam Hill. Here's Robinson with a fine move, and he wanted a foul called there. Doesn't have the chance for the three-point play. 6-point lead, Kansas. A minute to go in the first half. Dreiling against Hill. Doesn't go. Schafer rebounds. Dreiling went down. Ronnie Virgil taking it in. Call against Thompson.
I tell you, this officiating is a tough game. I'm looking at from here, and I think it's going to be offense. It's so fast, these kids, big and quick. Calvin doesn't like it. Let's watch right here. Here comes Ronnie Virgil down. Splits the two defensive members right there. And right there, he moves on him and is not set. And it's a good call. It's a good call. Sets her down at the bottom of the pile. You see him coming in there making the call.
I'll tell you, these officials, as you mentioned, you got your hands full with so much great talent on the court. I remember what the late Doc Hayes used to say at SMU. He said, boy, they're so good. He said, I don't know why in the world we play this game. It's so tough to officiate.
And Jay, I'm sitting here 50 feet away watching that, but it's that subtle, quick move at the last and movement. That official is about 8 feet away in a much better position.
47 seconds left to go in this first half. 37-31 Kansas. Thompkins out front as Kansas zones on the inbound play. There's Hill right up the middle. Tough shooting luck for him. Piper rebounds. Ball batted away and a foul called on Robinson.
Iowa State right there, Jay, had the clock, the 45-second clock, and the time clock, we're almost an hour. There might have been 2 seconds difference. I would have taken it down and go for the last shot, not give Kansas at all a chance. You might come out of there with a, what are they, 4-point lead. Here you're going to give Kansas. It was a good shot. Can't deny that. But if you don't get it down, it can be expensive.
Larry Brown sends Mark Turgeon into the game, and Kellogg goes out. Piper will be on the free throw line. Piper, who worked so hard during the off-season to improve his strength. The 6'8"er from Lawrence, Kansas, averaging 2 points a game. Hornacek returns for the Cyclones to replace Gary Thompkins.
What he's doing here is bringing back Jeff Hornacek, who can hit the shot from outside, although he's had a poor shooting. In fact, doesn't have a field goal, I think, yet. Piper, he's 0 for 4, Hornacek, but he has the ability to hit from outside, so he brings him in for Thompkins, who is not a good shooter from the perimeter.
Piper puts Kansas up by 8, 39-31.
This is almost a rerun of what happened at Lawrence when Iowa State took a bad shot with 9 seconds to go in the first half. Kansas took it down and got a layup by Hunter.
You see the time remaining here in the first half. Robinson to Virgil. He's got it. Virgil, a little 10-footer along the line. Kansas in a hurry. Hunter from 20. Wouldn't go. We've reached halftime in this 1986 Big 8 postseason tournament championship game. Kansas 39, Iowa State 33. Well, we'll have Kevin Kylie coming along to carry you through the halftime, and Gary and I'll talk it over. It's been a dandy first half. The Jayhawks from Lawrence, 39. The Cyclones from Ames, Iowa, 33.
In the Big 8 basketball season, first half of this game has been a whale of a ball game. Kansas holding off Iowa State, and they lead by 6. For a report on what happened in that first half, here's Jay Randolph and Gary Thompson.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It has been a splendid first half of play. I mean, they have been going like 60 here. Gary, I think one of the keys in this game as we go into the second half, and I know Johnny Orr doesn't want his kids to get out of their aggressive style of play, but he's got some foul problems.
Well, he does, but the bench has come off and done a good job. Robinson, Schafer, and Moss have really kept him in the game because Hornacek and Hill have not scored. I still think that Hornacek has to score for Iowa State to be successful, but he has got some bench that he can go to, but he's not going to come off the aggressiveness. That's their style. They've got to play that way, and that's the way they've gotten to where they've got now with a fine record.
I mentioned to you at the top of the show that the transition games of these two teams would be very important in this action this afternoon, and we've certainly seen that come into play in the first half.
Well, both teams have got up and down the floor, and well, they haven't converted as well as they should, and the difference might come when one of those teams can get up and down and string 2 or 3 fast breaks. That's what happened for Iowa State in the Nebraska game, and they're winning the semis.
The Jayhawks have the lead here at halftime. Kevin Kylie to carry you through.
Thank you, Jay Randolph. We'll return with more from Kemper Arena and the championship game of the Big 8 postseason tournament after these words from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. Risen to the #2 ranking in the country, and no wonder they have plenty of weapons. A great coach, Larry Brown, an awesome collection of talent, but you have to have some luck, too, and you need some special friends. The Jayhawks have one, just a little guy. His name is Ryan Gray.
They all care a great deal about him, and we joke about him kind of being like a lucky charm. But his presence at the games, at our practices, and his association with all the players means a great deal. Well, you know, Ryan physically can't do some of the things he used to do before, and his family got him a kind of a moped, and it's battery operated, and Ryan comes down on that, and that's basically how he gets along. You know, his mental process is great, but he can't do the physical things that most kids his age are able to do. I'm not without superstition, and you know, like I said, we feel Ryan is like a lucky charm, but he has a keychain that he holds during the course of a ball game and squeezes it a little more tightly at crucial situations. But you know, I know he works it pretty vigorously with his hands, and asks the key chain to do a lot. But I personally think him just being there is a motivation for all of us.
He kind of made my life more exciting. I feel like that every boy or girl would like to be in my shoes and do this. Kind of, yeah. I think Larry is a special.
We'd like to thank Jerry Collins for his fine work on this story, and I'm sure the Kansas basketball team would like to thank you, Ryan. We'll be right back after this word from Budweiser. Iowa State Cyclones, it could have been a lot worse. Kansas led in this game 10-2 and 14-4, and if not for this man, Jeff Greer, it could have been a blowout early. Greer was the offense for Iowa State early in the game. Kansas went to the transition game. Iowa State could not keep up. These guys can fly. Cedric Hunter on the breakaway. No doubt about this one, just 6 foot tall. He rammed it in. But Jeff Greer really played a big part in the early going. Greer led the team. He had 10 points in the first half, and he was all over the court. Fatigue got to him late in the half. He did go out with 3 fouls, but when he was on, he made a difference. Now, Iowa State missed a lot of shots in the first half. They wound up shooting 44%. They had a real rough time from the foul line, shooting only 37%. They're going to have to shoot better than that as we go into the second half. Let's go back to Jay Randolph and Gary Thompson. Take a look at the statistics from that first half.
All right, and Gary, there they are. Pretty good field goal shooting by both of these clubs.
But Jay, not nearly as well as they both normally shoot. Kansas, the #2 team in the country. Iowa State better at 50%. Difference in the free throw shooting. We talked about that might mean the difference. Kansas, an excellent free throw shooting club. Iowa State has struggled around 65% mark. 3 for 8 to Cyclones, 11 of 14 Kansas.
12 fouls against the Cyclones and only 6 against Kansas. Greer leading the way with 10. Thompkins has 8. Robinson 6. Then Virgil, Moss, Schafer. Hornacek held a 1 point in that first half.
Terrific defense by Hunter.
Yeah, Manning leads the way. Cedric Hunter with 8. Dreiling and Thompson with 6. Kellogg with 4. Piper contributed 2. And Kellogg, of course, with... We show Kellogg there with 4 fouls. That's incorrect. 2 fouls. 2 minutes before we'll start play in this second half. Back with this from Budweiser.
When we opened up, we spoke about the dreams of Jeff Hornacek and those of Danny Manning. Jeff's dream's not doing too well right now, but remember back to the Nebraska game, he came out hot in the second half. It's been a sweet dream for Danny Manning. 13 points, 3 rebounds. He's been a dominant force the entire first half. We've got 1 half to go. Let's look around the country at some of the other scores. There are tournaments being played, lots of tournament finals. Duke, Georgia Tech, second half. The #1 Blue Devils lead by 5. Memphis State, Louisville, a barn burner. Louisville, surprisingly, 13 points over State. Take us home, Jay Randolph and Gary Thompson.
All right, Kevin, we look forward to it. Let me run down the personal foul situation because we had a problem with our graphics there. There you see now that Manning has 2. He's the only person with 2 on that Kansas club. And, of course, the Iowa State Cyclones have 2 men with 3, Greer and Robinson. So that is the foul situation. And we now have updated you on that correctly as we get set to go to this second half. 39-33. Kansas has the lead. It'll be Thompson, Kellogg, Dreiling, along with Hunter and Manning out there for the Jayhawks. Hornacek with Schafer, Thompkins, Hill, and Greer for the Cyclones.
Schafer did a good job coming off the bench, Jay. He and Robinson, but I think Schafer a little tougher defensively. He's getting the start here because Gray with the 3 fouls. They can't put him on Manning. I'm sure we'll see. At least I'm guessing. I think I'll probably be right. Schafer will cover on Manning. That's what Iowa State needs right there. That young guy to cut it loose and shoot it, to be a factor and a chance to win, and maybe the dream will return for Hornacek.
Well, Hornacek comes out firing. As Kevin Kylie mentioned, he had a very good second half against Nebraska.
And Ron Kellogg off to a slow start in the first half. He's only 2 for 9. He could bring the dream back to that Kansas because he can drill it.
Kellogg has 6 points in the game. Manning, the leader for Kansas, with 13. Leading the way for Iowa State, Grayer with 10.
Good hedge move there by Dreiling. Good hedge move to let his defensive man recover. Same time keep the passing lane covered, or they couldn't get the ball on the roll.
Schafer to Hill. Hill puts it up short. Rebound Manning. Manning, long pass down to Thompson. Missed the layup. Dreiling has it. Score. 43-35, Kansas.
Jay, one thing we've seen a couple oddities, I think, in this tournament. I've seen more missed stuffs in these tournament games. And the other thing yesterday in the Iowa State-Nebraska game, I've never seen as many air balls in one game as you see in a whole tournament or practically the whole season.
You're right there.
Hunter doing a great job there, getting over. Not a real tough drag by Hornacek off the pick.
Schafer trying to get it inside, batted away. Hunter gets it back from Thompson, and Hunter gets it. Oh, what a marvelous move. He spun it off the glass, and there's a foul on the play.
And Hunter's defensive efforts right here turn a possible 2 for Iowa State into 2 for Kansas. The pass goes in. He cut in front, took the passing lane away, deflected, gets the lead pass, goes up here. Difficult shot coming up as Thompkins hammers him, but he's able to take it away with kind of a semi-half hook and get it down.
The junior from South Hill High School in Omaha, Nebraska.
Jay, Larry Brown was out here an hour before the game time, working with him on his free throw shooting, getting him to get his arm cocked, his wrist cocked, and to follow through from that position.
Biggest lead in the game, 11 points for Kansas. We played 2 minutes of the second half. Grayer shot won't go. Thompson rebounds. Thompson to Manning to Kellogg. Yes!
He starts lighting it up. You have trouble.
48-35 Jayhawks, and their fans standing and cheering. Timeout, Iowa State. 17 and a half to play in the title game. Kansas Jayhawks with 48. The Iowa State Cyclones with 35. We'll be right back after this message from Bud Light. Titles for the Jayhawks in 81 and 84. Of course, they won the regular season title this year. 13-1 their record. Their only loss in the conference, 77-74 at Ames. Larry Brown, the Big 8 Coach of the Year.
Important thing for Iowa State, Jay, is not to get in a hurry right now and try and catch up. They need to bide their time. They have to have good shot selection because you got plenty of time to come back.
They've got Grayer and Hill and Schafer and Hornacek and Thompkins on the court. Foul on Manning, no basket. Foul was committed by Manning before the shot.
And that's 3 on Manning as he tries to go behind. And Grayer has really worked Manning over pretty good. Manning, the all Big 8 defensive team, but he's been able to beat him on a number of occasions today.
Manning, the first Jayhawk with 3 personals. Hornacek, Schafer, oh, he missed the quick shot. Schafer then is fouled. Oh, we've seen a lot of missed layups in this tournament too, Gary, haven't we?
Boy, and that really hurts when you're 13 down and to let a little bunny get by. Hornacek trying to find somebody, always looking, goes along the baseline. Schafer, good job filling up, but doesn't get it. Jams it into the bracket, comes back. Dreiling coming down now, gets him across the body, hammers him, and Schafer gets a pair.
Schafer, a 64.3% free throw shooter, averaging 4.5 per game coming off the bench. He has 3 points. Big rugged young man from the Windy City of Chicago. 17 minutes to play in the title game. Hornacek comes away. Cyclones set it up again, trying to get within 10.
Kansas in a 1-3-1 zone. Kellogg on the baseline. Watch them. They'll move that into a 1-3-1 there as they go to the side too. They match up.
Thompkins takes it in, dishes it off to Hill. Hill couldn't get it to go. Rebound Manning. Stolen back by Grayer. Turnover.
You know, Thompkins has done a great job today on getting the ball to open people, but the Cyclones just could not convert it on the end.
Up the middle, Grayer. Jeff Grayer gets 2.
Now there's an important thing, playing without the basketball. Kansas went to trap. He moved away from it, went to the open spot where the passer could beat the trap, and he's in the open position for it. And then a good job of pulling up and shooting the jumper, not trying to force it.
Dreiling into Manning. That's 2.
I know Grayer's got 3 fouls. I'd look for either one of these guys. Manning was on Grayer last time because they went to the zone to protect, I think, Manning now with those 3 fouls.
David Moss will be coming in for the Cyclones when he gets the opportunity. Hill is 0 for 6 from the field for Iowa State. Grayer taking it in, stops, and it won't go for him. Underneath, Hill, and he's fouled.
Iowa State throughout the game, Dreiling questioned a little bit, but has done a good job rebounding. Half it was 19-19 on the rebound situation.
Second personal on Dreiling, 3rd team foul against KU.
With Kansas in the 1-3-1 zone right now, and they'll probably show some variations, but with Grayer, if he moves outside with Dreiling or Manning on the wing, he is going to be able to get maybe some of those 15, 18-foot shots because he can go over the top.
Elmer Robinson, number 25, into the game. Schafer goes out. Sam Hill on the free throw line, a 75.4% free throw shooter.
You mentioned Robinson coming in. It was the bench that kept Iowa State in it in the first half. They had 10 points and 6 rebounds out of 3 guys, Robinson, Schafer, Moss.
Hill had 16 against Colorado, only 4 points in the win over Nebraska. He had 14 rebounds in that Colorado game. It's been a little tougher getting the job done rebounding against this Kansas club. The rebounding, though, is pretty easy. Even Kansas with 23 and Iowa State University with 22. Hill goes out. We've got Moss and Grayer and Robinson and Hornacek and Thompkins on the court for the Cyclones. Hunter, Dreiling, Kellogg, Manning, and Thompson out there for Kansas. Dreiling from Manning. Dreiling cuts it in off the glass, and Moss was a little mismatched there. 52-40, 12-point lead.
Iowa State trying to stretch that zone right now.
Moss takes the jumper, can't get it down. Rebounded away by Kellogg. Kemper Arena in Kansas City. 14.5 minutes to play in the Big 8 title game. Kansas leading 52-40. Cedric Hunter getting it out to Calvin Thompson. He hits it. And Thompson puts the Jayhawks up 54-40.
The Jayhawks starting to heat it up when they're shooting. As I said, they're the second best shooting team in the country. They were only 46 in the first half. They're shooting almost 57% on the year.
Iowa State, Thompkins, number 3, out there with Moss and Robinson, Hornacek and Grayer, and a foul called on Kellogg. Kellogg of Kansas committing his second personal foul. Jeff Hornacek, a fine guard for the Cyclones, to put it in play from underneath.
Manning discouraged that, didn't he, in a hurry?
Greer goes in and gets 2. Nice move by Jeff Greer. Greer now has 14 points, 54-42 Kansas. The Jayhawks ranked number 2 in the nation.
Still go back. Greer's done a tremendous job, Jay. But even when Greer gets 20 to 25, if Hornacek isn't in the game offensively, Iowa State normally loses the ball game.
Danny Manning, player of the year in the Big 8, getting 2 right there, 56-42. Kansas in control here at this point in the proceedings. Hornacek taking it in. Foul called. Call it on Dreiling.
I think it is.
Yep, that's his third.
Hornacek trying to find another way to score. If he can't get it in from outside, goes under, comes across, and Dreiling gets him across the arm as Jeff jumps in and away from him and makes a good move.
Chris Piper into the lineup to replace Dreiling. Dreiling, the senior. Piper.
Good
Out
look
of Lawrence, Kansas. Gary, of course, this young man. There he is.
Everybody wants to question a little bit maybe the bench of Kansas, but I've said time and time again, they come in and play their roles. And, you know, the nice thing yesterday, I noticed is talking to some of the Kansas players, the starters, and Danny Manning, crediting that bench for really doing a good job for this Kansas team.
Number 33, Sam Hill, into the lineup for the Cyclones as Hornacek hits the free throw. He's an 80% free throw shooter, the best of the Cyclone starters. Iowa State with a 20-9 record coming into today's game, getting to this final game with victories over Colorado and Nebraska. The Jayhawks 30-3, the most victories ever by a Kansas team. They won over Kansas State and then got by Oklahoma by 2 yesterday to gain the championship.
Iowa State 2-3 zone. Hunter backing it out, getting Kansas in their offense.
12 minutes and 50 seconds to go in this one. Kansas up by 12.
Iowa State with 2 guys inside with 3 fouls. You got both Greer and Robinson in the game with those 3.
Hunter to Kellogg. Kellogg doesn't get it, and Greer comes away, and it's almost stolen by Kellogg, but he lost it out of bounds.
Larry Brown holding up 2 once. That's going to be his defense. Now he goes to his fist. See, Kansas back in a man-for-man situation. They put Manning on Hill.
Jumper by Robinson doesn't go down, and Piper rebounds out to Hunter. Kansas on the run. Hunter's shot doesn't go. Sam Hill for the Cyclones.
And that's one thing that Hunter used to do. Doesn't do as much right now. Control. He made his initial burst to the basket. Doesn't get it, but he kept forcing it. Got it into traffic. I know Larry Brown doesn't like that. If he gets it on the first go, fine. If not, back it out. Larry wants to get him into their offense and get that good percentage shot.
Ron Virgil with a 20-footer. Ronnie Virgil scoring for the Cyclones.
They're getting some shots against that zone right now. They're a little more passive than I've seen Kansas zones, and they've got to get it down. Virgil has shot well over the last 5 or 6 games for Iowa State against the zones.
Kansas leads by 10 with 11 and a half to play.
Hornacek looking a little tired to me right there as I watched him on Thompson come up.
Thompson to Kellogg for the long one. Oh, Ronnie Kellogg.
Robinson not reacting quick enough. When you see Kellogg in that zone, you've got to shade him. You've got to take the shot away from him.
Kellogg now has 10 points. Hornacek gets it into Greer. The fall away jumper goes for him.
And with that assist by Hornacek, he goes to 200 assists. That's an all-time high, single-season high for Iowa State. A record there for Jeff Hornacek. It only eclipses his own record.
Right, he's had over 100 assists each of his last 3 years. 58-48, Jayhawks over the Cyclones as we near the midway point of the second half.
200 assists. That's a lot of assists, and Cedric Hunter has got 229 coming into this game.
Here's Manning. 2 more for Manning, and he's fouled. It'll have the chance for the three-pointer.
I think we're going to have to name that the Manning move, the MM or something, because he does that on everybody. They just cannot stay down. A little head fake and so quick, turns you one way, steps inside, gets the shot, and also the foul each time.
The 2 coaches, Johnny Orr, and there, of course, is Larry Brown. Manning will go to the free throw line. Danny Manning has 19 points. Dreiling is getting set to come back in.
Coming for the shooter.
Comes up short. Rebound Virgil for the Cyclones.
Manning says, I want to stay in a little longer.
Sam Hill for Iowa State.
Well, he didn't miss on purpose, that's for sure. But I remember some games when it was spread out there and you saw somebody come out, you might miss one so you could stay in when you had a big lead.
Hill hits it along the line, getting the pass from Hornacek. That's his first field goal.
Well, it was amazing the first half. Iowa State stayed in it that close with Hill and Hornacek 0 for 7 from the field. But again, it was that bench that bailed them out.
Archie Marshall, number 23 in the game for Kansas, working now with Manning and Piper and Kellogg and Hunter. Piper almost lost it. Hunter to Piper. Piper, and a foul.
Boy, credit that basket to Hunter. Goes up in the air for the pass and drops it right down before the zone can make the move and cover up, and Piper gets a baseline shot.
Piper has 4 points. Foul was charged to Ronnie Virgil. Turgeon comes into the game. As Cedric Hunter goes out, Manning is out of there, getting a rest right now. You've got Dreiling and Archie Marshall and Kellogg and Piper and Turgeon out there for Kansas. Rebound Robinson. Ronnie Virgil brings it back, gives it to Hornacek. 9.5 to play. Hornacek from 25. Got it.
That might help his confidence. It's Cryer right there, hits up there soft and goes in, but he has got to put the ball up. He has got to get some shots.
Hornacek now with 7 points, 10-point Kansas lead.
Jay, most of his shots are coming from real long range. It's not in the good shooting area.
Turgeon, the little guy, takes it in. Banked it off the glass, wouldn't go. Tapped up, Archie Marshall.
Marshall averages 3.6 rebounds a game. Has done a good job for Kansas off the bench. Had a great game yesterday coming in about 21 minutes of relief work.
Grayer takes it in.
Yes, smart move by Grayer there, Jay. He could have taken up a lot of players that have taken the ball, went for the jumper. He saw the opening, took it in where he shortened up the shot to only about 5 feet.
8:20 to play in this game. The championship of the Big 8 postseason tournament. And Kansas, ranked number 2 in the nation, leads it 64-54.
Iowa State, man for man. I think Johnny Orr got him out with this lineup. He'd maybe like to try and put some pressure with 3 of the reserves in there. Hornacek got away with one. Looked like he had hands on Dreiling.
Well, they had 3 tries and couldn't get it down. And now Virgil. Off the Hornacek. He's got it, and he is fouled.
Hornacek shoveled that. I didn't see how he got that ball up there, but when he got the pass, he just kind of put it up from down under and shoveled it up between the hands. Robinson goes to the base, to the wing, to Virgil, comes in, trying to feel his way. Now looks for that other trailer, goes up, and he has the ability to get people up off their feet. Hornacek up off the glass, and Iowa State finds 2.
Foul is charged on Dreiling. It's his 4th. Turgeon comes out, and Kellogg comes out, and Dreiling is going out. And Kansas now has Piper and Marshall, Thompson, Manning, and Hunter out there. The Cyclones with Hornacek and Virgil, and Hill, and Grayer, and Robinson.
Well, that's a blow to Kansas to get Dreiling out of their big guy. Rebounding inside, he takes up a lot of space and bulk. Iowa State, fortunately, has been able to get Grayer in the ball game with those 3 fouls in the first half. He's been able to stay in and play as Iowa State went to some zone. And, of course, having to take Grayer off of Manning and find another spot for him to keep him out of foul trouble.
Dreiling is the first player in the game with 4 personals. Hornacek missing. 64-56. Kansas with 7:40 to play.
Boy, Manning's wide open on that post position there. Now I've been watching. He's wanting the basketball.
Calvin Thompson, it wouldn't go, but he is fouled by Robinson, and Thompson will go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, I watched this guy, Coach, and I know Johnny Orr the same way. In that kind of a situation, when you got the guy shooting from 20 feet, you don't want to go out there with that hand coming down and trying to block. You get the hand straight up, try and bother them, maybe get it in their face, take away their vision to the basket. You did not want to foul a guy out at that 22-foot mark.
Robinson now with 4 personal fouls. The first Cyclone to be in that much trouble.
Robinson, a member of the Big 8 all-bench team.
That makes it 65-56 Kansas. 7:29 to play in the title game. Timeout. And this from Bud Light. SU. Cyclones and the Jayhawks going at it here. Shooting percentage 53% from the field for Kansas, 47% for the Cyclones. Rebounding very even, 29 for Kansas, 28 for Iowa State. The turnovers even too. Kansas has turned it over 8 times and Iowa State 7. Piper, Marshall, Hunter, Manning, and Thompson out there for Kansas. Hill and Robinson and Grayer and Hornacek and Virgil playing for the Cyclones.
Kansas staying in that zone, Jay, right now. Again, protecting Manning, I'm sure, inside with 3. Dreiling on the bench, 4 fouls.
The winner gets the automatic NCAA bid to represent the conference. Grayer in the lane. Oh, fine move by Jeff Grayer. 65-58, 7 minutes to play.
Good pass by Robinson again, playing without the basketball, going to the open spot, finding it by Jeff Grayer, as you mentioned. Iowa State has made a run.
Manning and Dreiling sitting it out for Kansas right now.
Hill and Manning really battling inside.
Manning is fouled. He was grabbed by Ronnie Virgil. That's 4 on Virgil.
Iowa State's foul troubles mounting here also. Virgil 4. We got Grayer and still with 3, and Robinson had picked up his 4th.
Kellogg returns for the Jayhawks. Archie Marshall goes out. Kellogg.
Jay, I want to point out something. We were following Cedric Hunter. He has a chance to break a tournament record for assists. He needed 7 in this ball game. He had 4 at half. We lost our computer statistician, and we lost it in the bank, so we're not sure quite on him. But I just want for Kansas fans and those watching, the Iowa State fans as well, to know that that young man has a chance of setting the tournament record. We'll try and get that for you.
Piper back out to Kellogg, nearing the 6-minute mark left in this game. Kellogg deep in the corner.
I tell you, just cannot get off of that guy. He is so confident. One of the great pure shooters.
Sam Hill comes right back for the Cyclones.
When Iowa State had success against Kansas up there, it was Hill put some numbers on the board, 17 points.
Larry Brown has decided to get his big man back in there. Dreiling is up at the scorer's table, set to come in.
Kansas biding some time right now, too, with that zone, working the ball.
Foul inside as they got it in there to Manning. Foul charged on Greer. He has 4, and that is 3 Cyclones now with 4. Piper coming out. Dreiling, who has 4 for Kansas, comes in. We're going to get a timeout. 5 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in this 1986 postseason title game of the Big 8 tournament. 67-60, Kansas leads Iowa State. Who is that? That's Sammy Davis Jr.?
I remember doing a piece with that guy, halftime interview in Las Vegas. Pulled him right out of the stands.
Sammy was in my hometown last weekend for a big telethon in St. Louis. We had a great time there. Hunter has 6 assists, I'm told, Gary, at this point. We just double-checked that, and there's the updated field goal shooting percentage right to the moment with 5:23 to go. Dreiling back in for Kansas with Hunter, with Manning, with Kellogg, and with Thompson.
And Jay, with those 6 assists, Hunter ties the Big 8 tournament record of 26 assists held by Darnell Valentine, also a former Jayhawk.
Pass into Dreiling, wheels in there and gets it. This is the starting 5 back on the court for Kansas. They've started every single game of the 85-86 season.
It's been a good combination and a winning combination.
Robinson getting it around to Virgil for the jumper. Rebound in the lane, Sam Hill.
Well, that's a good break for Iowa State right there, because the high rebound came off. Dreiling went for it, but mistimed his jump as the rebound came high. Sam Hill was able to come in behind and stick it back in.
4:40 to play. 69-62 Jayhawks. Manning makes a nice move. The shot wouldn't go, and it is Kellogg who got it away and put it up, and it wouldn't go. And now the Cyclones could get within 5.
Good job by Kellogg, though, of fighting the ball down low on the rebound and taking it away, giving him Kansas a second opportunity to score.
Johnny Orr's Cyclones trying to battle back. Turnover.
Orr right there, upset at the play, and he's saying, "Get it to Jeff." I could read his lips.
Back comes Kansas.
Big possession right there. Had to put some heat on Kansas if Iowa State scores too.
And a chance for the Cyclones to creep within 4.
Boy, Greer and Manning, they put on some tremendous performances here in this ball game, and Hunter this time, or Thompson, may be hurt. Let's watch it. This is a great outlet pass here by Hill. He gets it out quick. Hunter trying to jam him over the hill, over the top. Greer takes it in. Thompson coming, hits him, but Greer taking the ball away from the defensive man with one hand, able to concentrate and get it up off the glass, and Thompson goes down. Here it comes again. Watch him take it away. Thompson probably lands, I can't see it, but probably landed on Greer's foot and twisted either the knee or an ankle.
They're attending to the left knee. Dave Lucy, who is the Jayhawk trainer.
Oh, I just cringe, Jay, every time I see it. But this time of year, you're going to the tournaments. Both clubs should be going to NCAA play without a doubt. You do not want to see one of these clubs lose one of their prime players. See if he goes down. No, he doesn't.
Leg kind of went out from under him there. He seems slipped, though. He might have strained the knee a little bit. He is coming off under his own power and seems to be all right. Johnny Orr patting him on the back there. I did send money. That sign has changed a little bit from what I remember. Well, we go into the wire here, and the Cyclones are still in this ball game with 3:44 to go.
Jay, the one thing about Thompson over there is that when he went down in a slip, he doesn't have pressure on that injury. So if it is a strain, I know Gary Thompkins had one like that against Nebraska when he slipped on some water, and he was able to come back and recover within about 3 days. So we hope the same for Calvin Thompson.
Ware gets the free throw. Timeout. 3:44 to go. It's a 4-point game. Kansas Jayhawks 69. Iowa State Cyclones 65. Now this from Bud Light. Larry Brown talking things over with his second-ranked Jayhawks. They're trying to win their 31st game against only 3 defeats. Their losses to Duke, Memphis State in overtime, and Iowa State. And some intensity from that man, Johnny Orr. What a job he has done with the Cyclones.
There you see the foul situation. Grayer, Virgil, Robinson all with 4. Dreiling with 4. Manning with 3. And the players, the big-time players, Grayer has brought Iowa State back. Look for Manning to assert himself now and get back into flow as you go down under 3 minutes of play.
3.5 to go. Dreiling and Hill going at it inside. Wow. Pass to Dreiling. Back to Archie Marshall. Back to Dreiling. Foul. Foul is charged against Sam Hill. That is his 3rd.
Johnny Orr scratching his hair, what little is left of it. He's rubbed that head a few times over the years. He's worn out the center. Do you see that? Marshall makes a good play here, gets a defensive man up, goes underneath to Dreiling. Looked like they were trying an attempt to go to Dreiling inside. Jeff Hornacek puts thumbs up jump, but it's a foul on Sam Hill, and Dreiling goes to the line.
And Kellogg is back in to replace Archie Marshall. Dreiling at the stripe.
Kansas, a great free throw shooting team. Thompson missed one earlier. Now Dreiling misses another one as we go down the stretch. You're into pressure time of the ball game.
As a team, they shot better than 71%. Dreiling missing 2. 69-65. Cyclones can get within 2.
There's a lot of cardinal gold behind that basket, waving their hands at Dreiling right there. And Iowa State supporters have really done a job coming down here and supporting their team. And of course, Kansas always does. This place is full of Jayhawk fans.
Hornacek and Virgil, Grayer, Robinson, and Hill out there for the Cyclones.
Big basket.
Virgil.
Oh, and he gets it.
69-67. We talked about dreams at the top of this telecast. 2.5 to go.
I think one thing that gives Iowa State some confidence is that they have had success with Kansas and won here last year, but they're going down deep to Dreiling.
Manning couldn't get it. Dreiling before him couldn't get it.
You got your best shots there. You couldn't ask for anything more than to get the ball Dreiling deep. Manning, your superstar, to get it. Neither one could convert.
The chance to tie it. Hornacek from 30. Rebound Manning, foul on Virgil.
Well, I don't want to criticize a player, but I think right there you need to get a better shot. You're coming back. It's always out there. Look to get that good shot right now.
The Kansas fans.
I just think, Jay, when I say that you can always come back to that shot in the 45-second clock situation. Work for the good one. You got Grayer inside who's tough. You're in the one-on-one situation. Give yourself a chance to make that good thrust and that easy one before having to go outside.
Well, I think Johnny Orr would agree with you. Gary Thompkins is back in for the Cyclones.
This guy's been in the pressure cooker before. He stood on the line needing one, and he got both of them against Oklahoma 6 seconds ago. He drains it again.
The splendid sophomore, player of the year in the Big 8. One of the candidates for the Wooden Award. Danny Manning's free throw with 2:06 left to play in this Big 8 championship game gives Kansas a 71-67 lead. The Cyclones of Iowa State have battled back against the Jayhawks to make some kind of game of it.
Tough double team, and that's what Iowa State did at Lawrence. They had success with it. Oh, what a shot by Greer. He just horsed it in there, forced the ball to the hoop and got it.
1:44 to play. 71-69 Kansas.
Well, the big-time players want the ball. Greer's been in the action on that basket, and 5 crucial plays down the stretch. Manning goes to the line, 2 crucial free throws. He's at it again, gets it.
Danny Manning makes it 73-69. 1:25 to go.
Jay, this is basketball, and it's a time that, as I sit and think back, the time of the game you love to play. When the game's on the line is what makes college basketball great, and what a fun time to play being a competitor on the floor.
And what a remarkable year it's been for the Big Eight. Tremendous performances by so many of the clubs in this league.
Talk about lack of media exposure, but this is 2 of the great teams in a great conference. It's got 4 or 5 good teams.
Underneath,
wide open.
73-71. 50 seconds to play. The number 2 ranked Jayhawks.
Oh, we got the 40. Let's see. Jay, I'm looking at the clock. 20
and about 7 seconds difference.
So Iowa State, regardless how they play it here, you might think if they get in a situation, you got to think about the foul on Hunter if they need it, who's the poor free throw shooter. Kansas is going to run it down. I think it's smart with a 2-point lead. You put
timeout. Timeout, Kansas. Kansas winning 72-70 yesterday over Oklahoma. Now has a 2-point lead, 73-71 over the Cyclones with 15 seconds to play and 8 on the shot clock. Back with more of this action after this from Bud Light.
I could show you, look at a couple of these key plays right here. Hunter coming up over the top. Manning getting it. Clutch player gets it down, continues to give Kansas a 4-point lead as Iowa State tries to fight back and narrow it to 2. We'll see it here. Thompkins goes inside, and it's Robinson over there. He'll look inside. Look at him look one way pass, another to Hill. I thought it was Virgil originally that got the pass in there to Hill, but it was Robinson. And it's a 2-point ball game, 15 seconds to go.
And we apologize to those of you having a little trouble with the transmission. We've got a sunspot problem that'll clear up here in just a moment or 2.
With Larry Brown calling that timeout, as we look at that man, I wonder what he's thinking with 15 seconds. If he will gamble on a Hunter foul, they can get the ball with at least 6 seconds. I think in this case, because of that time, a lot of coaches want to scramble down the court with the ball, but I think they're going to have to get a timeout, kill the clock to save the seconds.
The principals for Kansas are Thompson, Manning, Dreiling, Kellogg, and Hunter. The Jayhawks lead by 2. Hunter into Dreiling. Hornacek with a steal. Hornacek coming down, pushing the ball down. Hornacek to Hill. Whistle.
I think he's got to walk.
Walk is what you've got. No time left on the clock. Is it over? The officials are discussing it. I don't know if it's over.
Well, Jay, if it's a walk.
One official called a foul. One official has called a walk.
Jay, what'll happen here, I'm sure, is that if it's a walk, the walk will take precedence over the foul because the walk occurred out front before he got into the act of shooting. It's Mayfield with the call. Johnny Orr is hot. He's had some problems with Woody Mayfield in the past. And I'm sure as the teams are leaving, that's exactly what the ruling will be, is that the walk was called before getting into the act of shooting and the foul.
The game is over. The final 73-71 Kansas. Here are those final seconds. Hornacek got the steal. The Cyclones had a shot to tie.
Sam Hill deflecting the ball right there. Hornacek coming up. They're fighting him all the way down. He almost loses. Has to push the ball ahead to keep it alive. Here it comes to Hill. He gets the ball. 1, 2, and up.
Oklahoma fans will remember yesterday when Bowie went the length of the floor and had an opportunity to tie things for Oklahoma.
Here's the same play. Sam Hill deflecting, does a good job, Hill, of getting down court now to get in position. Let's see it right here as it comes through. Pass goes into Hill. Wiped out a little bit from that position to see whether the travel's there. But if the travel is there, it evidently was the right call, would be that it superseded the foul.
73-71. The Kansas Jayhawks, who won the regular season title, win the postseason title.
Some travel arrangements made through Eastern Airlines. Whether you're traveling to Florida for spring training or spring vacation, Eastern's going your way. Come fly with Eastern.
Kansas wins the Big 8 tournament 73-71 in a wild one over Iowa State. It's been a great tournament. 17,000 fans here, and I'm sure they all enjoyed it. Let's go back to Jay Randolph and Gary Thompson.
All right, Kevin, it's been great having you with us throughout this tournament. The Jayhawks are now 31-3. Iowa State goes to 20-10. And Gary, it's been a remarkable year in the Big 8. We brought all the tournament teams, all the teams here for the tournament this year, and what a fun time it has been. A little later today, we'll know how many Big 8 teams will be representing the conference in the NCAA play.
We had the 1 and 2 seeds end up in the finals, and you got just that kind of game, 73-71, in an action-packed contest. A great basketball game by two great Big 8 teams.
All right, for Gary Thompson and Kevin Kylie, Jay Randolph bidding you a pleasant good afternoon. This has been a copyrighted presentation of the Raycom Sports Network.
In Georgia Tech, that Sunday's ACC